Linda's Pantry, and as you see in the title, we're canning chicken, and I'm canning chicken legs and thighs today. So I'm using my small 10.5 quart All-American canner. It holds 4 quarts, which is the minimum that a pressure canner can hold, standing upright. And the reason I'm doing this is I'm kind of cleaning out the freezer, rotating stuff out, and I had gotten such a good buy on this. I thought, you know, I'm going to put it on the shelf. Then it's easy to open and make a pot of chicken and dumplings, chicken noodle soup, a chicken casserole, anything in just a heartbeat. Or if I'm in a hurry and I don't have Shotzi's little dog food add-ons, I always add some kind of protein, whether it be fish, chicken. Once in a while she gets beef, or you know, back in the day she got venison, that kind of thing. But she gets chicken primarily, pumpkin and green veggies. And if I'm in a pinch and I haven't thawed out chicken, or I don't have time to cook that, I can open up a jar, and there you go. So very simple. All I'm going to do is load these jars. So I want to make sure that I have all my utensils, and I add broth to mine, a little tiny bit of broth, not much, but I do add some. So let's get a pokey wokey there. Okay, so you're just gonna go ahead, and this is the only time you're gonna see me raw pack. And I put the skin to the jar side. For whatever reason, it doesn't get that off tuna fish flavor that happens when you raw pack chicken breast. And I absolutely can't stand that, so you want to make sure you still leave an inch of headspace. And did you guys want to come in close? I'll get this one loaded, and then we'll, so it's 1 thigh, or excuse me, 3 thighs, 1 leg in this jar. Now, let's bring you in, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got more than enough space, ample space in here. Actually, might even be able to get another leg in there, but let's see what I have. If I have a small, we'll try to push another, see if I can get, okay, I did get, so 2 legs, 3 thighs in the jar. And then I'm going to add the bouillon, but not much is gonna fit in there, to be really honest. You're not going to get a whole lot in there, but when you cook or pressure can chicken with the bone in, it's less time. Sorry, got you out of the focus there. Let's go ahead. Ooh, that's a big fat one. And I like it skin side to the jar if I can get it. Okay, and this one I may not, maybe, I don't know if I'll be able to get the same amount, because that thigh was so big, but we'll see. I might see if I can pick out a small-ish thigh. Okay, so now that I have all the jars filled, I'm gonna go ahead and I've got my chicken bouillon, and it keeps the meat a little more firm texture, so it's not mushy. And I'm just gonna pour a little bit over the top, and then I'm gonna take my debubbling wand and get in here and debubble. That's gonna let it get down in, see all the bubbles coming up? I don't know if you can see that, but they sure do. And now I've got room for a little bit more. And yes, the chicken is going to create its own. And there's, you know, the ball canning book will tell you you do not have to add liquid. But I have found my headspace there's meat sticking out of the liquid, and I don't like that. This way, I don't have that issue. Okay, so that one is done. And we're gonna go over to this. This is what I mean by a steady stream of steam. It's an obvious stream of steam that you can feel all the way up here. I know you can see it on the camera too. So you want that to happen for 10 full minutes. That gets your canner ready to go under pressure. So very important step. Don't miss out on that one. The only time you would miss out on that is if you were cooking a meal in there, not canning. All right, okay, guys, so my chicken has come off of pressure. I actually let it come down really slow. I don't ever rush this process. It's key to getting the correct headspace to stay there. So we want, because everything in the jar is expanded when it's under pressure and when it's heated, and I add broth, so I do lose some liquid in the water. I'm okay with that. I'm gonna wash my jars tomorrow. My jars will still all seal and we'll be good to go. And so, and I'll in fact, they may have already sealed. But what I did was once it's come down off of pressure, I take my weight off and I actually just perch the lid up here, just up off, so some steam can release slowly. And then I take the lid off and let it sit for another 10 minutes. It isn't gonna hurt me, you know what I mean? So now, it's still really hot. Where's my, oh, I'm gonna get my pot holders. Get my pot holders and move it over closer to my towel here. And if this was the big canner, I probably would not do that. The big canner, I'm gonna probably try to can on this burner because it's a high heat. I don't know if the low is gonna be too much for it though. But let's see what we have. Okay. Ooh, looky. And it's, honest and truly, it's still boiling in the jar. And these are still under a lot of pressure, so I don't wanna, let me see, I don't wanna put that jar on top of my pretty white pot holder. So I'm gonna grab, I'll fold up a paper towel and grab that so you can see. And I will take a picture in the morning when I post this video so you can see the headspace in the morning. It's still extremely hot. You can probably see it boiling in the jar. But oh, is that delicious. So there we go, 4 quarts. So we're gonna take these out of the canner, put them on my towel, leave them alone and let them cool down on their own. Don't cover them with the towel. You want them to come down off of their temperature to room temperature. Once they become room temperature, I check, and I usually do it before I go to bed. I check the seals, because if I let it sit all night and my seals, they don't seal for some reason, then I've got to either make the decision to waste it, or, you know, Shotzi gets a meal right now. I certainly wouldn't eat it if it sat on the counter all night at room temperature, if it didn't seal, if that makes sense. So I know a lot of channels will have you believe that you can just wait till in the morning, but not that, you know, that hasn't worked for them. This is just what I do. So guys, I hope it inspires you to try your hand at home canning. I canned all of this for about 80 cents a pound, and I've got 8 pounds of chicken here canned up ready to use whenever I need. It's already cooked. All I have to do is pop the jar and put it on the menu plan, right? So tomorrow I will clean my canner with vinegar, water, and Dawn dish soap and get that all ready to store back away, and the jars as well. Vinegar, water, and Dawn dish soap. And there you go. And I will store my jars always without the rings. So I will send you a picture of them once they've come down off of pressure, so we know what headspace we have. All right, guys. We'll see you next time for another delicious recipe or another canning session.